pirate just walked up. So now, ooh, I don't want to hit my cat. I just got these, so I'm not good at them yet. But these are called poi. Aren't they fun? Okay, that's enough poi. You guys, I watched Madam Web. I watched it. Okay, I actually watched it. Sorry, pirate is he's getting at my notes. It's not a big deal. You guys, I was wrong about this movie. Okay, I was. Um, First of all, I think they might have actually been having mistakes about how it was spelled during the movie, but forget whether it was with one B or two B's, but forget it. Okay, because that wasn't even important at all. I went and saw this movie, and it was actually a pretty crowded theater for what it was. And I could tell that everyone there was thinking it was going to be really bad and enjoying how bad it was. But that's a win in my book. I don't know if any of you have seen the movie called The Room, but I fucking love The Room, and I can't count how many times I've seen it. I've seen it more than 10 times, honestly, because it's so much fun to watch. And it's a really bad movie, but it's also fucking good because people continuously watch it. I've seen it more than 10 times. Bruh, I hope this movie gets Room status. I don't know. No, you know what? I think it might have been that good / bad, but wow. I was kind of blown away in all seriousness, because I think that people were there, honestly, to be to see it and make fun of it, and then go on YouTube and talk about how hilarious it was. But okay, forget about that. Listen, if someone pays money to go see it in a theater, goes sees it in the theater and stays the whole time, that's a fan. Obviously, that's someone. That's you're giving them money, right? So why would you be against that, even if they are seeing it to make fun of? So people were lolling because there were some technical issues with this, but I don't even fucking care about that, dude. Listen. There was a guy in this movie who was the villain, and his thing was that he had this dream about these 3 spider women murdering him, and he was therefore making it his life's work to find them and try to kill them first. But he also had spider powers. Okay, forget about that. There was a shit ton of exposition in this movie. And the villain guy, he showed up at the very beginning. First of all, I was fucking fused about the timeline here, because it was at the beginning it was the Amazon, or wherever the fuck she was. I'm sorry, I forgot. It was the Amazon 1973, and Dakota Johnson is 35, so they were saying that she was born in 1973, which would make this movie taking place in the early oddies, but it looked kind of 90s. Oh my god, I don't know why they did that. She had a landline phone. She also had a landline phone, and they also made an effort to they put a Beyonce billboard on there, Beyonce circa 2003, you know. So and they also played a lot of 90s songs. So okay, but in addition to all of that, this guy had the villain guy who was working with Zozia Mame, which was, I loved seeing her. I was so happy to see her. I was like, Shoshana, but Zozia is awesome. Um, so he had camera technology, like surveillance technology that was from like today. So we had landline phones, um, today technology cameras, Beyonce murals from 2003, 2004, and 1990s songs. So, and it didn't, you know what? I don't really remember seeing cell phones, but they did the thing I asked them to do in the last video I watched, which is they made the Pepsi cans look like they were from 2003. So that was cool. Anyway, this movie was kind of all over the place, but I really enjoyed it. I'm being serious, okay? So let me give you some of the exposition we got. I agreed to give you security because I thought you were close to finding it. The spider, that's her mother, like looking for the spider at the beginning. That's the guy who later turned into the villain. And for some reason in the entire movie, his mouth movements were totally off. Like they were just completely wrong every time, and the dubbing was just off. So I was like, what? But I actually enjoyed that. Like, if you're gonna make that kind of mistake consistently in a movie that has a budget of, over $9 million, that's just a number I made up, but like, I'm guessing, I'm pretty sure it was an over $9 million movie. Like, cool. I want to see that mistake get made. I'm being serious. I really do. So that was confusing. Oh, I wrote down Madam. See, and now I'm lolling when the movie is over. I wrote down Madam Exposition because that's what was going on here. The CGI was awful. I was wondering if they were trying to make the CGI also look like it was from 2003. Unknown. Okay, you guys, you know how I talk about all the time how upset I am that nothing is funny, and how upset I am that people aren't legitimately laughing during movies anymore. I swear to God, okay, I'm not even going to explain the whole scene to you because you should actually go watch this movie to see it. I would have paid $14.50 to see the baby shower scene alone because it was that hilarious. Dakota Johnson, Madam Web, her name was Cassie in the movie. She said the exact wrong thing at the exact wrong time in front of a group of people, and it was fucking hilarious. I was lolling. Everyone in the theater was lolling. Like, it was so refreshing. Truly. Okay, let's see what else we can say here. So yeah, this movie was all the fuck over the place. I'm having a little bit of a hard time describing it, obviously. But like, okay, let me try again. I'm having fun though. Okay, so we saw Cassie's pregnant mother, pregnant with her, Cassie, in the Amazon, I think, researching spiders. No, she's in Peru. My mistake. She's in Peru. Okay, she's in Peru researching spiders. And we saw a guy who was giving her security because she was close to finding the magical spider. And then some crime shit broke out in the middle of Peru because that guy was trying to steal the spider from Cassie's mother. And then there are also these like spider people who live in Peru. I'm not exaggerating. Anyway, so that guy who had the nightmare was the guy who tried to take the spider from Cassie's mom, and he was desperately trying to find these teenage girls with his magical hold on, let me do math. 20 years in advanced technology, surveillance cameras, so that he could kill them because they were in his nightmares killing him. And Dakota Johnson, Cassie, crossed paths with these girls, these teenage girls who kill the villain in his nightmare. And then she decides that, like, oh, she has to save him. And she also, like, gets these powers, like, randomly, where and she also gets these powers, like, randomly, where she sees everything repeated. Like, she sees one thing happen, and then she responds to it, and then she sees the exact same thing happen again, and responds to it, and it gets to the point where she's, like, doing it a second or third time, and she's like, why are you asking me this again, or whatever. But so, yeah, those powers seemed... Did she get bitten by a spider or something? Listen, it doesn't matter. Forget about that. So it was just really fun to watch, and I am glad that people went to go see this movie to lol at it and make fun of it, because honestly, it ended, like, it started off kind of rocky, but it ended up being kind of good. I'm not exaggerating. Like, y'all fucking know how hard I am to please. Y'all fucking know how critical I am of fucking every single movie out there. But, like, this movie was kind of in this weird loophole where it's a superhero movie, which are, like, kooky and weird to begin with all the time, even the really good ones. Looked like they made it in, like, a hurry, which made it have a lot of mistakes. And for that matter, it was, like, also kind of sloppy. But because the plot was decent enough, like, I was entertained the whole time. Like, truly, I really was. And I'm telling you, that baby shower scene, dude. Oh my god, I would pay $14.50 all over again just to watch it again. Just that one scene, zero context given. Like, would watch again. So that was hilarious. There was some interesting camera work. Hi, Jack, you okay? What's up? He's okay. There was some interesting camera work, and the like, just everything in this movie was, like, a little bit... Oh, forgot the most timely time reference, which was at one point, Cassie was like, someone was asking Cassie to do something, and she was like, I would rather go home. I would rather be home watching Idol. And she meant American Idol, which was, hot shit in 2002 and 2003. But I want to say the first season happened in 2002. But that Beyonce poster can't have been from 2002. Y'all, forget it. It was sloppy, like I said. But who cares? Because I was enter-fucking-tained. And everyone in the theater was too. For real. Like, I love that it's, like, bad. I love that it had mistakes. I love that it was sloppily written. I loved that it was actually funny. And people were actually laughing. Like, it was a real fucking treat. Let me tell you. Okay. Sorry, this is all over the place. The movie actually is kind of all over the place because there's one point where so Cassie is able to find these teenage girls who have all crossed paths with her before and are also in the villain's nightmare to begin with. She's able to find them, and they're able to hi, check. It's okay. They're able to, like, so they're all together, like, in the subway at a subway station, and then the evil guy shows up, and then the girls are convinced. They're like, first of all, they were confused because Cassie rounded them up and was like, "Get off the train." But then the evil guy showed up, the evil spider guy who was crawling on the ceiling showed up, and then the girls were like, "Oh, okay, now we get it. We'll go with you." So she took them to a forest. So that she stole a cab. First of all, she stole a cab to drive them to the forest, and she left them in the forest. And then they were able to walk to a diner that was like 300 yards away when they were hungry. Damn. I'm telling you, this movie was all over the place, but it ended up making sense. Like, it's hard to describe. I'm sorry. I don't want to describe it to you because I want you to actually watch it. I don't know if I have anything else to say. So yeah, I mean, this movie was like hokey and goofy and like out there, but like I said, that's all superhero movies, like quite literally all of them. So even though it was those things, that didn't, those weren't the things that made it bad. Um, you know what? I'm gonna look up the box office for this movie. Hold on. I have to go get my phone now. It's over here. I hope it made money. I think it did. I think it's gonna continue to, because like I said, this shit is hilarious. Okay, I'm looking it up now. Sorry I didn't look it up before. Okay, box office this weekend. You know what? Let's try something else. Hey Alexa, can you tell me what the number one movies in the box office were this weekend?
Here are a few movies playing near Portland this weekend. Poor Things.
Alexa, stop. She didn't understand. She's always doing this. Okay. I'm looking it up now. All right, it was number 2 in the box office. Hashtag winning. Fam, you phenomenal. I'm telling you. If you see, here's the thing: is like I bet this movie was so sloppy because the studio was just like, oh yeah, we forgot we greenlit this. Here's the money. Have at it. Bye. Oh, also you're gonna have to hurry because we want it out by this point. And they were like, oh fuck. So they like couldn't work as hard on it as they probably would have liked to. But it didn't end up mattering because it was number 2 in the fucking box office opening weekend. Bruh. I'm so for it. I'm so with it. Okay. Yeah. Well, if you want to lull, watch this movie. If you like Dakota Johnson, watch this movie. If you want to see improper dubbing of speaking parts more than once, go watch this movie though. Honestly, they usually make that mistake at some point. Most people don't see it though, but I do. Okay. Yeah, so this movie was a lot of fun and it was very goofy and I'm so happy I saw it. And honestly, I might just see it again. I might like pop in, you know, because I do that. I do that in theaters. I go to see certain movies, and if, you know, it's early enough and other ones are still playing, I'll like pop into another one, just hang out there for a little bit. Um, this was a great movie. And it's, I mean, chill. It's not on par with like one of my favorite movies, which is Wristcutters, a love story. It's not on par with like The Godfather. It's not on par with like a lot of movies, but like it was a good movie. And I enjoyed watching it. And the fact that the audience also definitely enjoyed watching it was just like, it was such a treat. I'm so happy I saw this movie, and I'm so happy that this movie exists because it's a good time. It's a goofy, but like understandably so, and um, I just enjoyed it. Like I don't know how else to say it. Uh, there was a pretty interesting sequence at the beginning when Cassie like fell into water and she had this pretty involved vision that was really interesting. But like just so you know, normal EMTs that drive an ambulance aren't trained to dive into water and extract people from bridges that are high above the water. That's not a thing. And something that bothers me, I've said it before and I'm going to say it again, is when you don't, you have to, okay, look. So we have a body, okay, that needs CPR. What you have to do is tip their head back so their airway is open, and they never do that in movies. Pissing me off. They didn't do it in this movie, and that was rude. But that's normal. Yeah. So you guys should go see this movie if you like superhero movies, if you like Dakota Johnson, if you want to see some hilarious shit at a baby shower, like go watch this movie. If you like truly, if you want to be entertained, like watch it. If you like, whether or not you end up like truly liking it or just making fun of it, like you will be entertained, I promise you. Okay, go see Madam Web. Bye.